welcome back to Enshrouded, and it's time to do some building. Yay! I've been looking forward to getting back to work on this. I've been thinking about layout for this tavern. We decided in the last stream that we need to do an angled wall. And by an angled wall, I mean not in the grid space that Enshrouded makes you do, but to have the entrance going against the grid. So when we're coming in and out of the Seafood Tavern, it goes right into the town square, which means I'm going to have to do some creative wall building. And so I played with some ideas. I kind of have a general idea of what I want to do. So we'll see how it turns out. And I kind of sat some things down, just kind of brainstorming how I think this place is going to be laid out, but we'll see how it evolves as we go, of course. So I've placed down 2 columns here. This is going to be the entrance, which is an angle entrance. So I looked at this first square, floor square, and I put columns on the corners. So that's where my door needs to end up. So I'm going to use props to accomplish this, because props can be rotated. I'm just going to be using this as scaffolding, because this piece is the same size as a wall piece. And it'll give me something to place things against and through. You see, does that look, should I do it exactly on the corner? I'm going to do just an edge in front. Maybe not, maybe exact, and then I'll have the wall itself an edge in front. So I'm thinking I'm going to use these polished wood banquet tables. And this is going to be the main part of this wall. So I need to flip it up. Is that straight? Yeah. And this is where I want it, because this also happens to be the same height as the wall. And now I'm going to move it in to where the wall would be. To get the bottom lined up. Okay. And go just outside that corner. And I want it touching the ground. Do I want it touching the ground? It's like a tiny bit shorter than the column height. So I'm going to need to add some trim on the top or bottom or both if I put it in the middle. I think I'm going to put it flat to the ground and add my special trim at the top. Keep the same depth and come over here and do this side. Into the edge of the column and down. I'm watching the bottom and the side lines. That's not wide enough for the door though, is it? I need to put it a bit more into the left. I don't want to put the door in first because the door has such a big finicky bubble around it. Let's see. Let's try if that's far enough once I move this one over. I'm going to have to pick this up. Put this one further in and see if that's centered if I move it in this much. What I could do, if this isn't right, is I can put 4 blocks at the bottom to help me figure out the spacing. I don't know if this is the door I'm going to stick with, but maybe. Okay, I need to rotate this too. Bring it out. Yeah, I think those tables are going to need to be a bit farther in. Or out, I guess. Because it's kind of showing through the doorway. So let me put down some blocks to help me figure out the spacing without having the door there. It's gonna be 1, 2. It's hard to tell when it's on the diagonal. From right there. 1, 2, 3 is kind of the width of the door. Well, I could try and do it with the door there. Since it's on the side and not the top of the door, maybe it'll let me do the spacing. Get it straight. Does it need one more? No. Whoops. Go back. Okay. Maybe it'll let me do it. What was that sound? It sounded like that guy growled. Scoot back so I can see better. Okay, now scoot it in. Looks like it's not. Yeah, that's straight. I had a little bit of a tilt on it. I'm gonna go just inside the door frame. Barely. Because I know on the other side these legs are sticking out. And they're kind of cool looking. I may not cover them up. I may integrate them into the design of the wall on the inside. Turn them into shelves because they kind of look neat for this table. Okay, let's go just inside the door frame. Okay. I think that's gonna work. So I didn't have to use those. Nice. I think that color of wood is going to go really well with the new wall that I'm using. Oh, let's close the door. So this is what the bottom of those tables look like. And I think that may end up being a nice trim on that wall. We'll see. Could be like shelves or some kind of decoration. If I don't come up with a good idea for it, then I'll just cover them up. But now I need to decide what to do about the top of the door. And I'm thinking windows, but I'm not quite sure which windows I want to use. Some of the new bamboo ones would go well with this build style, I think. Possibly. So look at that.
Welcome. Hey.
Look at the sizing. So I need to rotate this. Looks the same. See, this is where the door is gonna, the door bubble is gonna be a bit of an issue. Let me give me something to stand on. Oh, I have snapping on. Let's turn that off for a minute. I like using the glowy blocks for my scaffolding because it helps light things up too.
Hey.
So I did 2 of those. It'll kind of be going into the sidewall a bit. I wonder if I turn this on its side, how well it would fit there. Whoops. It's not pulling it forward, it's pulling it up and down. I need to aim at the side. It's not 100% fitting it exactly right. Hi, Certified Crab. Welcome in. Trying to figure out how I want to fill this gap. That is pretty close, I think. It's got a little tiny gap. It's not quite big enough. Although that could easily be filled in, the gap, with some kind of deco. Same thing with this large one. Could do this. The sideways one. Put it back in there. So it would merge and fill the whole thing. Although I don't like how that doesn't have the rail on both sides if I do it that way. I think I'm kind of leaning towards this one because the height ends up, well, I mean, I can adjust the height, but it looks like the height matches with where the top of the tables are for that consistency. What? Why did I lose my, because I went past the hammer.
Hi.
I don't think that's quite the right size. I'd be losing the edge. I think I'm going to go with this one. Hi Heidi, welcome in. How are you today? Let's tilt it over again. And I'm going to center it there, so I'm just going to lift it up. Is that centered? I think so. There, I think that'll work. I like it. I don't know if that's the right door to use on this. I may end up changing that door. Tired? I don't know. Why are you tired? What am I building? I'm building a seafood tavern in my village. This is like the center of town square. And I don't have a mead hall. And I wanted to build something with the fisherman stuff and the grill. I thought about doing just a little like fish fry stall because I'm like adding little stalls around like I did this one for the farmer. But we talked about it in chat and everywhere yesterday, and everybody said, no, do the full thing, build a whole like village tavern and seafood place. So that's what I'm doing. And I decided that I want the entrance to like head straight out into the center of town, which means I have to build at a diagonal, at least this part of the building. I'm not going to make the whole build diagonal, but the entrance is going to be on an angle from Enshrouded's grid, which Enshrouded doesn't like, so none of the blocks will build that way. So I'm building a custom wall so it can be, I can have this part of the build on an angle instead of being in the grid lines of the world. So I think I like that. And then, of course, I got to add some deco and stuff to it. I'm going to have to decide if I want to try to integrate the backside of these tables as like a cool deco around the door, or if I just want to hide them and make it look like a regular wall on the inside too. It's kind of a neat look, the bottom of those tables. So I'm kind of tempted to try and find a way to integrate that into the build instead of hiding it. How do I unlock the thing that lets you display potions and stuff? I did almost all quests aside from Hollow Halls and finding the second cat, but I can't seem to find that item. Hey Chisel Chip, welcome in. How are you, friend? You did a great job with that interview earlier. I moved my stream a little bit later today because I wanted to watch Chisel Chip's stream. So Heidi, what you're talking about is that, wait, is it at the carpenter or the farmer? It's at the farmer, right? Yeah. Stopping by here since you mentioned being live, Kristi. Oh, thanks. Hope the build is coming along well. I think it is. I spent a little bit of time last night kind of figuring out how I want things laid out, and I just started getting my angled wall in place so my entrance can go out into the town square and break the grid. So that'll be fun. Gotta finish decoing it and everything, decking it out.
Hello.
Okay, here's a farmer. So if I scroll down here, this is what you want. Decorative items. The coaster does drinks and potions and that kind of stuff, and the round food plate and the food plate looks like a platter. We'll do all the other dishes. And what you need to make these is wood planks, which are crafted at the table saw with the carpenter. That's how you get those recipes. That should do it. Thanks, farmer friend. Does he have a name? I don't remember his name. He has a name, I'm sure. Your farmer friend for the moment. I got a chance to ask most of what I've been curious, so that was great. Nice. Prop rotation is the best. It is. It allows so much creativity. So much. You know what we need, Chisel? If we had one prop that was literally just a block. You know what I mean? Like, it just looked like a block. Like one stone one, one wood one, or they could give us all different skins on it, whatever. But it's not a block. It's a prop that we can rotate. Then we could do anything. Anything in the world we could do. We could build any wall at any angle if you're willing to do it. But I mean, like he was saying that originally they were doing roofs with props, and then they're like, that's silly, we shouldn't do this. I'm like, that's genius. Bring it back. We could do both. Let's have both. I love that idea. I want to rotate everything. I hope I didn't get you in trouble in stream saying... I mentioned something about you helping me with my roof, and then I saw a bunch of people going, help me with my roof, help me with my roof. I was like, oh, I should have said that. I'm sorry. So you were talking about what you're going to be doing in the next coming week or whatever, and I was like, remember my roof. Okay, so I think I changed my mind again on the stone. I was really waffling yesterday on what stone, and I've gone back again, and I am going to use the new stone. At first I was like, no, I'm not going to use the new stone. Everybody's using the new stone for these kind of builds, but I mean, it goes really well. That's why we got it with this, right? So I think I'm going to do it. I think it'll be really pretty. But I am going to mix it up and use some of the city block. I'm using the city block for the columns. Because, of course, you can never use just one block. That would be blasphemy. You're welcome, Heidi. Yeah, totally. I think the biggest issue with that is the performance at the moment. That's very possible. That would be a big advancement to building, but in a voxel game, props are laggy in large quantities. Yeah, but it's up to us. I mean... Hi, Mark Op. Welcome in. Cool. Thanks. So I was kind of debating too if I wanted to do, I think it's pretty to have like where half the wall, the bottom half of the wall is stone and the top half of the wall would be limestone. But this is going to end up being a significant size build. And this is going to be the upper layer. So I think I'm going to do the whole first floor in stone. That'll be the bottom half of the look for the stone and limestone combo. So I kind of have an idea of how I'm going to do this. I'm going to start with just putting walls everywhere around, and then I'll go back and break them up. Can I snap this? Is that where I want it snapped?
Hello.
Is that snapped with the floor? It is. Let's see if it works, because is that sunken in from the column now? It is. Let's see if we can stay with snapping it in place, because that makes life easier if you can, but I tend to be persnickety and change things. Gonna want a window here, but I can change it later. I'm trying to be nice to Chisel Chip too and keep some things snapped so my roof isn't as difficult. Usually I do 2 layers of walls, but I think on this first floor, this time I may only do 1. I'm going to put walls right here, but this is not going to stay this way, because I'm going to make this end down here kind of like a tower, and I'm probably going to make it hexagon shaped. Doesn't look right, but I have snapping on, so I assume it is. And I'll have to get rid of that dirt. I think I might put an aquarium here at that wall. And then this is going to be looking out on the deck and the pond in the back, so I'm going to want windows on this whole back side. I think I'm going to add a little bathroom here in the corner. And then this other side wall is going to be where the fireplace is. I put down a little tiny fire to represent. Okay. So part of the reason I'm trying to do 1 layer walls this time is because I don't feel like this is big enough, but I always want to make things bigger, and I'm trying to keep things smaller, and this isn't like it's tiny. I can fit a bar and tables in this space. I tend to go big. Go big or go home, right? Always a battle for the devs to add things that also can appeal to the masses in some way, and unfortunately most people have lower NPCs than us streamers. Yeah, I could just only use them occasionally. I mean, my computer isn't like over the top. I'm playing on a laptop. It's a gaming laptop, but it's a laptop. With the future, but I have heard people say that because we have so much freedom with the building in Enshrouded. With the future refinement, though, they might be able to do more and more things like that as the performance gets better. Yeah, and they do keep working on that, right? That's a never-ending thing they're doing. Okay. I don't know if I want these corners to be normal matchy-matchy or if I want them different. I'm probably going to end up wanting them different. It's going to be my guess. So I'm not going to put anything there yet. I think this one I'm going to change and make it a doorway. Because I was thinking that I'm going to do a little out thing here. That'll be like a little service window. That if people want to come up and order a quick snack. And sit at little outside tables here or take it over here into the town square. They could do that because this is where like the bar is gonna be and the little seafood grill thingy. So be like a little outside service too for people that are walking by from the town square that don't want to come in and sit down inside. Yeah, you don't need a ton to play, but with Valheim folks coming over from playing on a 25-year-old Dell. Oh my god. That's horrible. On a 25-year-old Dell. Enshrouded will be hard to run. I'm surprised at the amount of comments I get saying it can't run. You crack me up. I got such a visual from that. That's funny. Yes, I do get comments about that too. Valheim actually runs on a 25-year-old Dell. Try to test it. You actually tested that? You're kidding, right? You're kidding. I am not buying it. No. I'm imagining a lot of dust on this 25-year-old Dell for some reason. That seems like. I imagine it covered in one of those old plastic dust covers. Have you seen them? You used to sit the big plastic cover over your computer. Never had one, but I've seen them in like movies and stuff. Alright, do I dare take this scaffolding out yet? I don't know. Maybe I should leave it there until I decide if I'm going to keep this like this or I'm going to add something to it. Do I have some shelves in here? Yeah, I have some shelves I was going to play with that match that wood and see. I want to make this a thing. You're serious? You actually tried it. My dad's work had old ones in the trash pile and got one for my sister to play Valheim with me. Low settings, obviously, but it ran. Wow. Okay. Nice. That's impressive. I remember people complaining about Valheim too, not being able to run on things. But obviously we have a lot more freedom of building in Enshrouded. I need to mute my phone, don't I? Such a noob. Hush, I just said I need to mute you. I don't think I like how these columns are perfectly even with the walls there. Might need to pull that out. Which could be an exit trim. I could do that on these corners as well to pull that across and coordinate. That was the city wall block. If I pull it out one, what isn't it? Oh, I have snapping on. Might work. That kind of makes that wood meld into it some. Maybe, maybe. These shelves might be too big. Although I could just blend it into the column. All right, I'm gonna pick this up. Not you, the thing. Now I gotta pick up the right thing. The door is always gonna try and take control. All right, we'll pick up the door first. That's easy to put back. Now I can see this one. Where'd it go? Here it is. Still not entirely sure I'm sold on this door. Might change it. I like the look of that. Valheim had some bugs once, but they patched it. Yeah, it runs much better now. Enshrouded definitely doesn't run on those though, and at least needs a dedicated GPU. Okay. That's also why Valheim is available on Mac and iOS. Easy to run. Enshrouded plans to be on PS5. And also, they will definitely be smoother eventually. Yeah. Yeah, like Sarah 410 is saying that she can't play Enshrouded, but she plays Valheim. But she's supposed to get a new computer. I'm excited to see what she does in building and decorating once she gets in Enshrouded. Mark, I'm afraid to play Valheim. I don't want to get sucked into something that takes away from Enshrouded. Or you could be like me and Chisel and get sucked into Enshrouded and get pulled away from Valheim. Yeah. I mean, obviously, I can't talk. Valheim is a great game. And I'll go back to it, too. My community voted not to start a new server until 1.0. Which we'll see, hopefully, is going to be next year sometime, but We don't have anything definitive on that, I don't think. They are very different, that is true. Hi, Atomic Riftmaster. Never-ending Venn diagram between Enshrouded and Valheim. Great to bounce between the two. Yeah. Valheim has some good building too. I mean, I have enjoyed many hours of building in Valheim. I just feel like Enshrouded has a lot more freedom with the voxel system and the terrain modification and everything. Enshrouded is on GeForce now for those that don't have a dedicated GPU, but a good internet connection. It runs great on there. Oh, that's good to know. Heidi, you never got into Valheim? Fun fact, I have both games and Enshrouded runs better than Valheim for me. Interesting. Okay, do I want to keep these and turn them into something, or do I just want to cover them up? That shelf is entirely too big, even if I am keeping them. It is way too wide. I would have to use something else. I could use stands. I could put fish plaques up and down them. Or could give them a fishnet look. Kind of like their columns on the side of the door. Or I could box them in on the side. I think I like it on the front more. Fits right there. If I put the fish looking window, bamboo window here, kind of frames it out, matches that size. Do I need to bring it? Let's try this. Because it looks like it's like built into that wood bar in the middle. That coordinates with the window on the top too. I like that. Huh. That's cool. Very unique. I need to trim out the bottom by the floor still. Wonder if I could, I probably can't. Well, maybe I can. If I could slip a light inside there, like it's in a light box, that would be some interesting backlighting by the door. Gotta head out and lurk while doing errands. Can't wait to keep seeing progress on the build though. Take care. Thanks, Chisel. Lurk away. Lurk away, lurk away. Try and get enough walls done that we can work on the roof. You know how some people build the structure, the shell, and the roof and everything, and then put details? Yeah, I don't usually do that. I like figure out details as I'm going along. Okay, I think some simple stands will take care of that gap at the bottom. Let me grab some of those. I know it's probably odd that the stands are kept in my book and newspaper building, but I put them here when I was building this first, and I've never taken them out. Because this is, well, other than the inn, this was the first building that I added to Main Street. I think I'm going to need more. I only have one left. I find it interesting that this door has been staying closed, and I don't know why, because they open all the doors. Two-handed. Gonna make a bunch of them because I use these for all kinds of stuff. Why's it gotta rain now? I'm curious how the roof will go with this interesting shape. Oh, I can't keep things simple. That would make entirely too much sense. I gotta make it. I'm gonna have to take the door out again to get that side. It's fine. Okay, let's turn these around backwards. So I don't need the hooks showing. Should I make it up above? No, I'm just going to go right underneath. Why? I was on the stack that only had one in it. Alright, well I need to pick up this door in the meantime anyway, because that bubble's going to collision me from doing the sides. Straight? Yeah. I imagine it will be a bit of a challenge for Chisel figuring out how to do my roof on here because he's really good at doing the like walls and stuff of his structure with snapping on, which makes it a lot easier to measure out your roof and stuff. And I tend to not do that as much, which is probably why I curse at roofs. Making my life difficult for myself. Yeah, that's... I need to go in one to meet on that corner. Make sure not go through the front. Maybe 2. Oops, wrong button. Do I need to go in 2 clicks? I think so. Make sure that didn't go through. It did. Don't pick you up. Pick you up. Come on, man. So, this is the challenge. Building with props, right? Try and get the right thing. Hello. Well, I could take out some bricks there. I don't want to take out the table and have to redo all that. I'm gonna end up taking some stuff out of this floor anyway, so it's not like it's gonna stay being done in one piece. What is that picking up? Wait. How many did I do? Did I do 5 already? It's fine. I think it's the table bubble that's stopping me from getting it. What is that picking up? I don't know what that pickup is way down there. What would be that far down? That's the table pickup. Maybe it is the stand. Let's pick it up. Live dangerously. I have no idea what this is. Son of a biscuit eater. It's fine. Let me put this one back. Hello. Was the stream lagging there for a second? Says it's good now. I don't know. Thought I might have had some dropped frames. Well, that's unfortunate. Probably gonna have to use this doohickey again. I mean, I could try to do it just on the window. I wonder if I could do it just using the window that I have placed there now.
Hey.
See if it works. Straight. Okay, looking at the height and everything on that side. Trying to line it up. And then can do it. It's just hard to tell exactly the spacing. There's the bottom of the foot. I'm trying to see the bottom of the foot so it matches the same as on the other side for the distance. It's a little too high. Well, it's nice that I can do it using that and don't have to like totally rebuild my scaffolding again. Bonus of using those. It's not raining. Maybe that'll make it a little easier to see. There. Easy peasy. Let's try this again. Whoops. This way. Did it again. Now go in there. Be aware of where the edge is this time. I pulled it out a little far because I was paranoid of going through. Which is fine, it gives it a lip. I did it again. I'm gonna pull this one out. I knew that these little baseboards would be so persnickety. Are you gonna let me pick you up? You're only gonna let me inspect you? Fine. I shall get you. I think it'll probably look better having the baseboard have a little lip on it anyway, because they often do, right? Is that straight? No. One more. I think that's straight. My eyes are playing tricks on me. Yeah, I think that's straight. Well, I'm getting lots of practice with building this wall. One click in. raining. I need a roof over my head.
Hey there.
Okay, turn this around. And give it that little lip to the baseboard. I like it. Looks fancier that way. Didn't want it to be flush anyway. Now if I try to pull this one out, am I going to pull that table up? Ooh, I got the right thing. Will miracles never cease? Stop doing that. Line it up. Perfect. That's a nice color balance too, having a little wood trim on the bottom. I like it. Put the door back. Cool. Okay, so I need to figure out what I'm going to do on top of the door, because it has that extra little gap. I think to get a good feel for what it's going to look like, I'm going to go ahead and add an extra top to the walls. Do I want them 4 taller, or is 3 taller enough? I just want to have a little extra space. Between the floors. I think I'll go with 4. Because I'm going to have a balcony upstairs overlooking. Uh-oh. Is I gonna run into that? I'm gonna have to fix that. It's kind of touching. And it would make more sense if the balcony is a little bit higher. It'll look better. Hey, DDG, welcome in. How are you, friend? Good to see ya. What you up to? I'm not gonna bother doing this because this is gonna become a different shape. I'm not gonna leave this a square. I'm gonna make that a hexagon. I'm gonna make it a tower. There's gonna be a spiral staircase in there. That'll be good. Then the balcony will end up higher. And I want this to be a really big fireplace too. Excuse me. And the tavern mead hall thing. The fireplace will actually be going up multiple floors before it cuts through. I'll probably have the second floor open there too and have it going all the way up. And a giant chimney coming out. Working as usual and working on a design for a windmill in my head. Ooh, nice. I have a very fancy windmill at the moment. I stuck it on a post. Well, it's not a post. It's like the pre-made little archway thing. Gates. The big gate. I mean, I was just seeing if it would work. And it does. And I haven't done anything else with it yet. I'm building angled walls because Enshrouded won't let me. And I want to. I want my entrance to the courtyard at an angle. We will find a way. So I found a way. Why is that doing that? Oh, because I made that an extra one on the inside is why it's doing that. Thank you. I like it. So I'm coming out of the Seafood Tavern. I'm going to go right into the courtyard and the seating area. And my own little seating area over here too. A little walk-up place. I'm going to grab something and sit outside. Hey Mare, how are you? Good to see ya. Okay, what do I want the front of this entrance to look like? I'm tempted to do an archway, a stone archway here. But I've already done a lot of custom stuff here. Maybe I'll save the stoned archway for somewhere else. Alright, I already made this very busy and fancy looking. So maybe I'll just do it simple up top. You know what I could do? I could just do the same wood with that table again. Have it going all the way up.
Welcome.
Although, I gotta think too. Okay, so the roof at this part is gonna be the floor of the second story. What was that sound? I don't know who's making that sound, but it sounds like they need to get a room. I heard two of them in a room the other day, and I was like, I don't know what y'all are doing, but close the door. It makes some interesting sounds now. Stone coffins work for archways. They do. They're really great. There's a channel called Building, something like that. It's a French channel, and he does a guide on them that's really good. He does a beautiful bridge, huge bridge with big stone archways. I'm actually going to make little archways, though, in my village. I'm not doing a huge archway. This can be little archway. Let me kind of put in where the second floor is going to be. Which brings up, what am I going to use? So for this floor, I use the fired brick. I don't think I want to do that. For the second floor, I think I want it to be wood, right? The brick timbered block is what I used. Am I snapping? Yeah. No, I don't want that. I want wood. I was going to use shroud wood for some stuff. I liked how the shroud wood looked with the timber stuff. Actually, what does the timber stuff look as a floor? Yeah, that's cool, but that's going to be too matchy-matchy. I think I'm going to go with the shroud block. I love the dark wood. It's so pretty. Hey, Jeremiah, welcome in. Yeah, I think I'm going to go with the shroud wood. Okay, I'm going to fill that in real quick so I can see what it's going to look like. I have to take a quick, urgent buy break, and I'll be right back in just a couple minutes. Okay, I'm back. I just realized I'm having trouble thinking. Like, I'll do that sometimes. I like just get caught up in building or whatever, and I'm like, okay, I can't focus. Why is that? Oh, that's why. Pay attention. Probably gonna have this come out another half floor too, because I want that overhang. Look. Let's see what it looks like with this block type underneath.
Hey there.
I kind of like to get the look. What if I put, you know, the little support beam? Wow, what just happened? No, not terrain. If I put a row of the timbered right along the bottom. Alright, take off snapping. No, that's not what I mean. If I put it right underneath. Right, get in there. There. No. It's not doing what I want. Maybe this block doesn't do it. Doesn't do it. I'm gonna get a different block, I think. To get the kind of edging that I want. I want this. Can't see it because I covered it up with bushes. At the top you can see it. What did I use to do that? Is that the fired brick? Or no, that's the one from... Which one is it? Is it the brick tempered block that does that? But it's because it's on the stone that it's not doing it, I think. What if I place it not on the stone, but on the wood? Is that not touching the wood? Get up here so I can see better. Alright, I'm not going to spend a lot of time right now focusing on this detail. I'm getting squirreled. I'll deal with that later.
Hello.
Hello! So, I like the shroud wood. For the floor.
Hello.
Hey.
I think sticking out half a floor will be good enough for my house extending out there. I'm gonna run into that archway. I was trying to save that archway for the symmetry here, but we'll see whether I end up changing that. This should be higher though. This should be just above the archway, I think. So, I don't like it. I don't like how it sunk into that wall. That's what having it on snapping did. No. I'm gonna go one up. And then that'll also give me the ability, or one in. I could also go one up for the floor. If I put a line of the one that will give me the marks on the outside of the wall. Okay, I'm making it too complicated. Let's just go one in. One up. That's not straight. There. I did it again. I wanted to go up because I'm gonna extend it over. Put snapping on and go half out. That's better. Then it gives it a little lip. And I'll do a little separate roof over that service area. Whoops. Bonked my head. Can't jump up there. I suppose I could go get my scaffolding. But
Welcome.
that would make entirely too much sense. I don't think that leaves enough open space in the middle of the hall, does it? Let's see. Because I'm gonna have like some very simple little tavern rooms for rent up here. Not as fancy as staying at the inn. Would that be enough? think it was enough. I think I'd rather have it. So it's just going to be a little walkway up here. Like a little overlook onto the tavern floor. Although, excuse me, it might make sense for it to go out as far as this wall.
Hey.
Because this is going to be like where the bar is. The bar counter. Right here. But I wanted to have like the big open in the middle feeling like medieval mead hall with like the 2 stories with the overlook kind of thing, you know? Really, I'd want to make this bigger. Excuse me, but I'm trying to keep my build small. Not just a tiny build, but...
Hi.
Let's see if I have the floor. I feel like I'm gonna fall off of here. Sit straight. One more. But I want to come in one too. Inside the wall and up one. And go out by half a floor on this side as well. So it'll be, this is where the little low cost tavern rooms are if you can't afford the inn. And this will just be an overlook, little walkway area up here. I think this is probably not going to end up going all the way to this wall, because I want the fireplace under there. Going all the way up. See how that goes. Then I'll do some kind of little walkway across from upstairs to get over here to this side. Still feels too closed off to me though. Like I want it to feel open and tall in here, and I think that's too much. I think we're gonna extend the tavern rooms out the back of the build more. So it can feel more open in here. See, that's better. That's like big area. I mean, I know I don't have a roof right now, but you know what I mean? Like, I feel like there's space. I could look up and be like, ooh, big, double high, meat hall, tavern, whatever this place is. See if I extend this just by 4 instead of doing the full. Extra floor out. I think that'll be better. And then that kind of, excuse me, gives a little overhang in the back here too, which is a little bit bigger because when you come out this door, big fireplace there going up, come out this back door, it's going to be like a wooded deck going along the back of the Seafood Tavern here and overlooking this pond coming soon. So that'll kind of be a little cover too if I want to put like some little chairs out here on the deck to look at the pond. I think that'll be better, and it feels much more open inside. On this side, it's really more of just an overhang because it's going to be going up to the second story. If I do walls, it's going to have windows. New timbered limestone. Hello. Then I get the double effect that I was talking about before. The stone on bottom and the timber on the top.
Hello.
And then I'll do the same thing for the rooms on the other side. That is being weird, isn't it? Why is it snapping like that? It's odd. It's wanting to snap into it. Start from the other end and see if it still does that. Why is it doing that? I've never seen it do that before. Why is it going half? It's like going one block in. Take off snapping and make it do it manually. That's bizarre. It's snapping back on. I'm gonna do it. I don't know why it's doing that. Okay. I'm probably going to double these up. Do I want it to go all the way to the balcony? Not sure. Just gonna put one there, and I'm gonna finish this corner because I gotta bring my spiral staircase up, and I don't know exactly where it's gonna land yet. Don't be night. Let me grab some daylight real quick. See what it looks like from the other side. That's cool. So I have room for 4 tavern rooms up there. Or maybe I'll do 3 tavern rooms and a bathroom. Probably on the second floor off the balcony. I'm not gonna extend it past this wall yet. Because I'm gonna make this like a little hexagon tower. Although I don't know, it won't hit that wall, will it? Probably not. I can add that one. And this is gonna be a second entrance down here that goes into the basement. The cellar. Yeah, I'm not gonna do it yet though because I want to see where exactly the spiral staircase is going to hit before I do anything on that end with the flooring. Which I'm thinking I'm probably going to use these, the carved wooden nightstand, to make the spiral staircase. In here. I'll put down a pole just to give me a guide for where the center will be. I like the look of this wood for stairs. That'll be pretty. So I'm gonna use the little crude stool to help me size things out. Step up on that. And so can the NPCs. Let me pick it up. It's been doing this weird thing lately where it doesn't show you the pickup spot as quickly, it seems. So what is the size of that in comparison to just a single block? It's about the same, I think. Yep. I mean, that's a very ornate block. That's not the best representation. That one's got stuff too. But you know what I mean. There. It's very kind of one block size. So if I put I might want to get something smaller for my middle pole guide. I think like do I have any of those posts over here? Big stuff. There's big stuff. I mean, I could try and use one of those, but that's... I want to have a little bit of space more in between, I think. For walking around, I don't want it that tight. Pretty sure I have one over here. Big things, big things. Here. One of these. Support strut. I love the look of this support strut wood too. Depending on how it looks, I might leave it there. Such a cool, craggedy looking wood. So if I look at this for the height, lower this down. Wait, I wanted to keep track of how many I did that. Let's do that again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 is just under. Just because if I take a break, I need to come back. Everything I'll know where it was. So it's 7. Pick it up. Thank you. Okay. And then I'm gonna rotate. Let's see. What mark am I gonna line up on? It looks kind of tall. Did it go up? Let's do 2. Aim at the center. Oh, I should have aimed at that back right corner. Let's come back. Stand up on here. Not just kidding. Aim at that back right corner. This looks like it's too tall, like it came up. Oh no, let me walk right up it. Two. And 2. I'm kind of being haphazard with how I'm doing this right now. It's kind of proof of concept. Ooh. Hey Kristi, welcome to the channel. Thanks for the sub. Number 2. I don't know, it's kind of hard to see at some of these angles where it's lining up in the pole. Might actually be better to use the flagpole for this. I'm kind of guessing a little bit on some of this. It's a little hard to see. How high am I? Getting close. I don't know if I'm even aiming at the right thing now. The strut's a little bit in the way of my vision. Strut, that's not what it's called. Whatever this thing is called. I think I'm too high. Let's go a full. Can you do 4? No. Let's go 2. And 2. I think I'm off my mark, but went too high, didn't I? Yeah, because I couldn't see from that angle. Hey, Pratfall. Welcome in. How are you? I am having a blast with the update. So much fun. There's so much to do. It's crazy. I think I am definitely going to have to put some kind of a rail on this thing, or I am definitely going to be walking off the edge of it. 100%. But that works. So I got my counting down, my numbers. We're doing 7 down in 2 turns. And then I'm going to make this whole enclosure of it more like a tower for the stairs. And they don't need to be this tall. I can take some of these down. I couldn't tell where I was at. And I'm going to do it backwards, I think, too. I'm going to start from the top and go down. If I can. Because then I'll be more guaranteed to have that top step line up with where I want it to. Might do this just like a little walkway going over, because I still want that to be open underneath. Whoops, that one was off. There really is so much great idea for the staircase. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I mean, it won't have the pokey spikes eventually. I think it might be fun too, once I have this upper floor mapped out. I'll have the little walkway here. I'm gonna do like a little walkway going across the open space. This will be like a widow's walk or whatever it's called, to look out the windows and whatever. But it might be nice to make that like a bit of an arched walkway going across there. Although I do like some of the ones that just have really heavy beams. That could be nice too. A different beam than the floor, of course. Gotta have some contrast. Hey Kongville, how are you, friend? Good to see ya. I thought, yeah, that's too far. You working, busy at work today, Kongville? Well, I'm glad you weren't so busy that you couldn't stop in and say hi. Alright, I think it's starting to get a little bit of a feel for what it's going to be like. It's got our angled entrance out into the town square. And then we'll have our little walk-up service here with some outside seating. Hello! The bar will be here.
Hey.
We'll have tables. We'll have the spiral staircase going up to the balcony overlooking below. We'll have a massive fireplace here going all the way up. And then a back door going out here. We'll have a little wooden patio or wooden deck and a pond overlooking a pond. I think that's going to work out well. And then I'm going to do a third story as well. I need to do an awning on this wall. And I think for the third story, I might make it a, we'll see, I might make it a really pointy peak or something. We'll see. Chisel Chip's going to come in and help me do my roof. Teach me how to do the tall roofs. I want to do a spire. I mean, this is probably not the best building to put a spire on. But I might do a double layer roof, like I might make the third floor go in from the second floor a little bit. Be more in the middle. So I could have a roof going in on top of the second floor and then coming out on the third floor, but being really steep. I am loving the update. There's so much stuff. So much stuff. There's so much stuff that I had to build a seafood tavern. Look at this thing. All for you. All for you. This whole building. I mean, maybe not entirely just for that, but I mean, I was going to need some kind of a meat hall in the town, right? Do you like my custom wall? It's really pretty. Enshrouded said, you can't build at angles. And I said, watch this. Hold my beer. I need to finish it going up too. I'm going to switch around where my shrine is too. I had set this up to be a shrine and people have left offerings and stuff around the flame. But I'm going to switch it. I'm going to make this thing the shrine. This was a fountain, but they were being so weird. Staring at the water, I took it out. And this thing makes that sound and animation now every time I get near it, even though it's in my base. It didn't used to do that. Which seems kind of magic-y. So I think that should be the shrine. So I'm going to make this the shrine instead. And this building will not be the prison anymore. It's going to be a church. So the church will be right next to the bar. For whatever that means. That is one of the things I don't like about building in this game. It's hard to do things not at 90 degrees. Yeah. But there's plenty to compensate for it. There's everything else that you can do that you can't do anywhere else. Or most places. It is an amazing build system. I mean, it's just like the official blocks and walls that you can't do at 90 degrees. Lots of other things you can. So that's why I'm using the other things to make my angled wall. Anywho, I think I'm going to call it there for today, guys. It's been a couple hours. My throat's getting kind of tired and I need to get something to eat. But thanks for hanging out with me. I appreciate you greatly. I'll definitely be live again tomorrow. Wednesday is my normal streaming day. Any other day is just bonus days. And so I'll definitely be streaming tomorrow. I don't know when I'm going to have Chisel Chip come in to work on the roof, but I'll post it in the title of the video when we're doing that. I got to finish the walls first before we can work on the roof, so I need to check on his schedule too. So, but I think you get a bit of a layout of what the tavern's going to be now. Thank you so much for doing these streams. It's a great compliment to a new content comes out. Thank you. Thanks so much for hanging out with me. I appreciate it. I'm just loving building in Enshrouded so much right now. And there's so much new content. I don't even have all the new build stuff yet. I haven't even finished all the quests. I haven't discovered all the new area. There's still more. There's like a red thing that I really want to get, but I have to upgrade my altar for. So I need to do some more adventuring as well and have more of those guides to get out also. But I've just been distracted with building, honestly, because it's so much fun. So hopefully I'll see you live tomorrow as well. Until next time, happy gaming.